We're going to talk about Lil Wayne. He's being accused of questionable activities, and they are looking into what he spent his PPP loan on. Let's get into this Lil Wayne allegedly balling on PPP. So, like a lot of people, like a lot of businesses, Lil Wayne took out a loan for his lost wages and whatever else, his lost business during the pandemic. Well, Business Insider, they did an investigation and they found out that Wayne received 8.9 million for a pandemic relief program, and that he used that to cover more than 2 years worth of spending on luxury hotel stays, designer clothes, travel to and from nightclub appearances, which, a lot of that is work when you consider the industry that Lil Wayne is in, right? But they also say that it was 1.3 million on private jet flights, $460,000 on clothes, many of them accessories. They mentioned that it was high-end brands like Gucci and Balenciaga, and that he billed taxpayers more than 175,000 for expenses related to a music festival that was used to promote his We brand and his clothing line for artists associated with his label. Well, when he canceled one of those appearances, which he also charged back to this, he was allegedly someplace else at another party, as demonstrated, I guess, by some online photos. He also used grant money, they say, to cover nearly $15,000 worth of flights and luxury hotel rooms for women whose connections to Lil Wayne's tour and the touring operations is unclear at this time. One of the women was a Hooters type waitress and adult film star. So, once again, sounds like things that little rappers do. Maybe he was putting them in a video and, something like that. The concert that he canceled, it was actually a New Year's Eve concert that was supposed to take place at Coachella. And it was a little bit before the set started that employees announced to the crowd that was already there that he would be unable to perform because of wind and flights, right? And so allegedly there were 20 to 30-mile winds per night, but he posted that night from a party at a club on Sunset out here in Hollywood with rapper 2 Chainz. So people are questioning, could he have really made it? I mean, you could drive. It's not that long of a drive. But there are also list an $80,000 birthday party. And Wayne wasn't the only person that they checked into their finances. They also looked at Chris Brown. He had a $10 million grant to his company, CBE Touring. Makes perfect sense. You could not tour in COVID. So they said that 5.1 million went to Chris Brown personally, and that he billed taxpayers nearly $80,000 for his 33rd birthday party. They also said that he was charged for atmosphere model. Well, he charged them for atmosphere models, which, when you have an event, sometimes there is talent that you hire out to fill the space. And it is called atmosphere. And it is a line item, right? And they mentioned that the women were, covered in body paint, and that the party also had a bill for hookah, $29,000 worth of hookah, and bottle service, nitrogen ice cream, and damages that were involved in burning holes in the rented couches. So they also talked about a Tulum trip that was billed back and some other things. They weren't the only artists that were investigated, but they were the two that were highlighted. Now, the other artists were not Black. I know you're wondering, so I'm just going to put it out there. I can't remember who they are at this time, but they weren't Black, but they did lead with the information about Lil Wayne.